Today I'm going to show you how I make homemade taco seasoning. I've been making homemade taco seasoning for several years. I don't buy those little packets. I have not bought those in, I don't know, probably 8 years or more. Anyhow, this recipe I make, I'm just going to show you one batch of it. But when I do make it, I don't know, triple, quadruple the batch. However many times it takes to fill this up, that way I always have some taco seasoning on hand. And you can use this just as you would those packets of taco seasoning. So the batch I'm going to show you is enough for like 1 pound of meat. Okay, so it's very simple. And I'll have the recipe down below in the description box. But what you'll need is you'll take, for one batch, for 1 pound of meat, you'll take 1 teaspoon of chili powder. Another thing I do want to mention is you can add as much or as little of these ingredients as you want. It depends on your taste. Sometimes I'll add in just a little bit of sugar. A lot of times I'll add in more garlic salt or more chili powder. It just depends on what exactly I'm cooking and how bold I want it to be. Okay, so experiment with it. So that was 1 teaspoon of chili powder. Then you'll need 1 teaspoon of ground paprika, 1½ teaspoons of ground cumin, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic salt, 1/2 teaspoon of oregano, and then 2 teaspoons of parsley. So that is what it looks like. And just stir it up, or I kind of give it a few stirs, and then I'll put the lid on it and just shake it up like that. So that is enough for, like I said, 1 pound of ground beef or ground turkey or whatever type of ground meat you're using for your taco meal. And most of the time I will take the parsley and I'll take it in my mortar pestle and I'll grind it up kind of fine. It just depends. I didn't want to today. But you can add however much or however little you want, like I said. And occasionally I'll add more oregano or garlic salt or chili powder or just a pinch of sugar. It just really depends on the exact recipe and what I'm going for. So, well, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you make it and like it. Before you use it each time, like I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to make enough to fill this container up. That way I have some on hand, ready. But before you go to use it, just, give it a few shakes or a few stirs before you use it to make sure that it's still well incorporated. Because sometimes the salt being so much smaller, it'll kind of settle to the bottom. So, well, thank you for watching. Bye. One thing I forgot to mention is if you do make a big amount of it, and then you only have like 1 pound of meat, you may be wondering like how much of this do you use? Well, that also is according to your own taste. Us personally, we use about almost 2 tablespoons of the mix per pound of ground beef. Okay, so that's what we do. So that might, kind of give you a guideline there. You may want to use 3 or 4 or, 6 teaspoons of this, but we use right at about 2 tablespoons per pound of ground beef. And also, this can also be used for other taco recipes, not just tacos or burritos, but it can be used, in place of any packet of store-bought taco seasoning. You can use it in a crock pot, for whatever. But I just kind of wanted to say that because I forgot that earlier. Well, thanks again. Bye.